Man, I really need to change that intro. Everything's changed since I made that. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Lippman Live. So happy to be here. So happy to see you guys here. It's been a wonderful day so far. It's been a great day. Great. Just great. We'll get into the day in just a minute. But for those of you who are new to the stream, if you are new, we'll jump into the chat in a minute and find out. But if you are new, first of all, let me know in the chat. Second of all, my name's Jay, obviously, and here on this channel, here on this stream, we talk about video editing, camera gear, and how to make better videos. So if that sounds like something that you're into, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss anything. I come out with videos every Monday, every Friday, and we meet here every Wednesday at 2 p.m. All right. Let's jump into the chat. We've got Leela and Garrett. Hello, my friends. Welcome to you. It's like you guys have been like arguing over whether me and Leela, what points we have. I don't even know. What is this point system that like you guys need to, hey, Inspired John, what's going on? Welcome, sir. Oh, welcome. Hey, Rachel, how's it going? Rachel Rawson is in the house. Why did I say that? Hello, welcome to the stream. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day for all of you who spend the week looking forward to Fridays. Happy hump day. It's a very special day of the week, I suppose. You're not blue? Don't think so. I don't have many mods, actually. Filmcore Digital, what's going on? New to the channel, loving the content. Thank you so much. What's going on? Michael Fire Jr. jumping into the chat. We've got some people going on. First of all, big warm welcome for first time viewer. Chatter, what are you? What are you guys? Viewers, chatters, what do I call you? But Filmcore Digital, welcome to the channel. My name's Jay, obviously. That's the name of the channel. And yeah, so here on this stream, I usually pick a topic. This is how the whole deal works. I pick a topic usually beforehand, and we talk about that for a little bit. All the while, there is a link in the description of this live stream, and Nightbot's throwing it around too. If you have any questions, whether it be on the topic for the day or just filmmaking in general, make sure you click the link in the description or click the link when Nightbot throws it out. Fill out the form, ask your question. I'll be getting into the Q&A stuff a little bit later. Today, my friends, we are going back to the beginning. We're going back to my roots. We're talking about audio recording, not just audio editing, actually not even audio editing. I did that before. Like I did a very general how to get better audio in your videos, but I didn't really have it focused on specifically editing or specifically recording. So today, I need audio help for sure. Well, Rachel, you are in the right place. Oh, let's see. Let's read this chat real quick. Leela says Garrett gives you bonus points because you do DaVinci tutorials and he uses DaVinci. That's so unfair. Hey, you know, I'm sure you win. By the way, guys, my video coming out on Friday, I actually just exported it about what the cat. Quit that. Stop. Let's not. Don't rip apart the couch. Thank you. My video coming out this Friday is actually inspired by Leela. It's and requested by Garrett actually. So you guys can both thank Garrett and Leela for this Friday's video. I'm going to teach you how to clone yourself in DaVinci Resolve. So it was really fun to make. It was a lot of fun to make, and I'm really happy with how the video turned out. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. Jay is an audio master. I don't know if I'd call myself a master. I'd like to think I'm pretty good, though. You know, I'd like to think I'm at least. Oh my God! Do you guys hear that? I don't know if I'd call myself a master. I'd say, you know, I'm pretty good. There's definitely people out there who are way better than me at recording and mixing audio. I do have a lot of experience though, and we're going to do a little history lesson actually before I give you the whole deal. Let the kitty say hi. She won't let me pick her up. She hates being picked up. She hates sitting on laps. Like, I have two of the most antisocial cat. Well, they're not antisocial. They want you to pet them. I have two cats. They want you to pet them, but they don't want you to pick them up or put them in your lap or anything like that. Like, they just want you to pet them, feed them, and make sure their litter box is clean, and they're fine. Other than that, you try and do more than that, they get very unhappy very quickly. Oh, coffee is such a good thing. So, quick history lesson. Most of you guys know this, but for those of you who don't, for those of you who are new, I am a musician. That's how kind of my whole creative journey got started. I picked up a guitar when I was 11. I picked up a microphone when I was like 14 or 15. Well, I officially picked up a microphone when I was 14 or 15, but I've been like singing since I could talk. And so I've been in a lot of bands over the years. I've been in quite a few bands. And we used to do these like DIY shows. One of the bands used to do these like DIY shows where we would actually have to rent, if we wanted to record the thing, we had to rent all of the equipment, like all the microphones, the mixers and everything. We eventually bought like a little like 8-track mixer and some microphones that we could keep with us. But like I was typically in charge of miking everything up. So I had to learn like on the fly how to mic everything up so it sounded good. And that was kind of my first introduction to not just playing music, but actually recording audio. And from there, another one of my bands was in and out of recording studios all the time. I kind of learned how to mix in that studio and, kind of learned a little bit more about miking things up and all that. And eventually I got into video and started trying to figure out how to translate my knowledge of audio from the music world into my videos. And I think I've done a fairly good job of that. And today we're going to talk about actually recording the audio, because when it comes to getting good audio in your videos, it all starts with the recording. Like if you have a crap recording, you're not going to be able to do much in post to fix it. And, that's just how it is. And there's a few things that you can do in order to do that. Normally I've been trying to make slides and stuff and do a full blown presentation for you guys. I don't have that this week. It's been, well, first of all, I didn't really know what I was going to be doing until about 11 o'clock last night. I had no idea what I was going to be talking about today. Also, kids home from daycare this week. So like it's been very hard to get any work done. I've been like having to prioritize things, a little bit of client work and, getting these videos out, getting them ready for publication. And yeah, so I didn't create any slides. No like official presentation today. It's just a chat between friends about audio. Oh man, Karen Summers is here. Hello. Ooh, coffee, great idea. Yeah, coffee is a wonderful thing. Did you guys see Matt Diavella's video? He quit caffeine for 30 days. And I won't spoil it for you, but you guys need to go watch that video. It's one, fantastically produced. And two, it's just a really, really good video. But yeah, coffee, I will not be quitting coffee anytime soon. So the worst is hearing the flaws and not being able to fix it because you don't know how. Yep. And that's more like edit. Well, I mean, there's preventative measures you can take in the recording process. We'll talk about that a little bit. But a lot of fixing the little flaws that comes with editing, and that kind of comes with practice and all that. So what does your shirt say? Just an ordinary demidad. Yes, just an ordinary demidad. Got a little Maui right there. My daughter, for her 3rd birthday, it was Moana themed. They actually painted me up to look like Maui. Like I spent 7 hours getting painted with henna. Some people in here actually remember when I looked like that. I did a live stream. I was still completely like hennaed out. And but I got this shirt as well. I got this shirt for the birthday party, and it's really comfortable, so I wear it a lot. Inspired John, thank you so much on behalf of Rachel. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate that. It's still it's still weird to see super chats. I gotta say, it's weird. Goat Eye Photography, what's going on? I found your channel because one of your DaVinci tutorials appeared in my YouTube start page a while ago. Really good stuff. Greetings from Germany. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Send me pictures, Leela. I will do that. I will do that. Haven't seen Matt's video yet, but it's probably awesome as always. He's an amazing filmmaker. He really, really is. I do have audio problem with my footage. Too loud band sound, especially the bass is cracking and I can't correct it in Vegas. It was great. Jay was a trooper. Yeah, so this whole time I'm on a call with Apps That Rule, Tech Examined, and Michael Fire Jr. I'm on a phone call with them, like having a fairly serious discussion. Meanwhile, I'm like shirtless laying on my couch and one of Arian's friends is like hunched over me, painting me up with henna. It was ridiculous. Also, you 100% deserve the super chats. Thank you, Leela. I really appreciate that. So let's get into talking about audio. Let's talk about some things that you can do in order to get better recordings, which will in turn make the editing of the audio a whole lot easier. And first, it actually starts with the microphone, like using the right microphone for the right situation. Let me give you an example. I'm currently editing a project right now that I didn't shoot. I did not shoot. I'm just the editor on this. And I got the footage back, and this whole thing, it's filmed. I can't really talk too much about it, but it's filmed indoors, and there's no sound treatment in this building. It's a place of business, and there's just echo everywhere. And the reason why there's echo everywhere, the reason why the mic picked it up is because they used a shotgun mic inside of a building. And, you know, a lot of people do that. A lot of people will get these like professional shotgun mics. They'll use them inside. The problem is shotgun mics are usually hypercardioid or supercardioid, which basically just describes the pickup pattern. And that means they're super directional from the front, but they're also really sensitive from the back. So anything that bounces off the walls can come in to the back of the microphone. So, you know, in that case, maybe a shotgun isn't best. Maybe you should, for indoor places where there's lots of echo, maybe you want to be using a lav mic instead. So the sound isn't like reverberating off the walls and coming back in. It's just picking you up and there's less echo. And so a lav mic in a place in that kind of situation would work. If you're going to use some kind of microphone on a boom arm inside, then instead of using a shotgun mic, you might want to get something that's kind of like this little guy right here. That is it's a small diaphragm condenser mic. They actually use these things to mic up drum sets. They put them over the cymbals to mic those up inside. And so, but they also work really, really well for indoor vocals. Coffee break. So using the right microphone for the right situation is really, really going to help you out. Also, you know, for another example, I'm getting a call from California for some reason. I need to put this on Do Not Disturb. How rude of me. How rude of me. All right, fixed. For maybe a lot of people, for these live scenarios where they're in a studio and they're talking live, they're doing like a radio type broadcast or a podcast or something like that, they'll actually use something like this. I mean, this is a cheap little $35 large diaphragm condenser mic. These are like this one's kind of coming apart. Actually, that's weird. But these things are great for like broadcasting situations. They give you that nice, deep, bassy voice, which is nice. I just hate having a microphone like in frame when I'm talking. So like I was using this for a while, but I couldn't stand having the microphone in frame. So I went back to using my little Behringer here in order to record not just these live streams, but my videos as well. This is my microphone of choice. I use it basically in any video that I record sitting here. So that's tip number one, right microphone for the right situation. Topic, Ruben, hello, my friend. How are you? How are you? Oh, man. So real quick, real quick, does just first of all, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat right now if you're following along so far with the whole right microphone for the right situation. And two, now would be the time if you have any questions about your particular situation. And what microphone you should be using or what type of microphone you should be using, make sure that you click the link in the description and fill out that form with your question. Just tell me, you know, what kind of scenario you have, what kind of setting you're in, and what you're trying to achieve. And when we get to the Q&A portion of the video, I will do my best to help you out. Cool. So, I don't see images, Jay. Oh no. Am I not okay, I'm still all right, Karen. Sorry, you scared me there. Try refreshing your browser. Um, just an ordinary demi-dad. That's right. That's right, Ruben. And that's me. Just an ordinary demi-dad with ninja skills. Did you guys see my tweet about the spectacular accomplishment that happened? Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. So the in order to let me record a video, um, in order to let me record a video, Arian and her dad and Kaylin all went out to a park and hung out and had fun and whatnot. And on the way back, Kaylin fell asleep in the car, and I was somehow able. She was wearing skinny jeans, by the way, so this made everything much more difficult. But I was somehow able to get her in bed, diaper on, covers on, everything without waking her up. I don't know how I did that, but I feel very, very accomplished. So, uh, just did. Now I see you. Okay, cool. All right. Garrett D says, just bought a lapel, have not tried it yet, been using shotgun, both was cheap. There you go. Yeah, I mean, you can find decent, inexpensive mics. This Behringer here was like, it was like $60, $70, something like that. Same thing with my Rode Video Micro, which I use when I'm out on the rare occasions that I'm actually out filming in in the wild. I usually use my Rode Video Micro. So, like, you can find good quality, good quality, inexpensive microphones fairly easily. So, thunderstorms. Thunderstorms are not good. We got a pretty major thunderstorm heading this way, actually. There's currently a severe thunderstorm warning for like western Maryland and part of Montgomery County, which is down closer to DC. So it's coming this way, I think. I think it's supposed to hit later tonight. So I'm not looking forward to that. Had to refresh, got an ad. So glad you got into the partner program. Thank you so much, Garrett. I appreciate that. I like my Zoom Handy recorder. There you go. We're going to talk about those Zoom Handy recorders in just a second. I wish I had the micro. You can spot me from miles away with my Rode Pro in the wild. Yeah, I like the micro. I mean, I got it because it's what I could afford at the time. But it's a great little microphone. The only problem with the microphone is it doesn't have its own battery, so it runs off the camera's battery, which isn't too big of a problem. But if you're running a camera and you're shooting log footage, 4K, things that eat up the battery, and then on top of that, you've got a Rode Video Micro that runs off the camera battery, you're gonna start like burning through batteries pretty quickly. So for me, it's fine. I shoot in 1080p and it's not that big of a deal. My batteries last, for a pretty long while, actually. So, next tip. Oh, got the roommate coming home. This is where it gets interesting, guys. The next tip I have for getting a good quality recording is getting the microphone. And this almost sounds like dumb to say, but getting the microphone as close to the sound source as you possibly can. So right now, this mic, I mean, you can see it's right there. I mean, I got short little hobbit hands, but it's maybe 6 inches from my face. So it's picking it up really nicely, and you're not getting a lot of the room echo, because this room here, let me adjust that. That's driving me nuts. Um, the Team Sony. Yeah, having the microphone close to the source. Having the microphone close to the sound source really, really, really helps. It will, if when you're in places like this where there is no sound treatment, where the sound just reverberates everywhere. You know, if I have the microphone, you know, much further away than this, like my camera right now is about, I don't know, 2 feet from my face, but even that close, if I had a microphone just sitting on top of my camera and I was recording there with the microphone there, I would be picking up a ton of echo. So get the microphone close to you, you know, and that's why people use shotguns on boom poles and stuff like that, so they can actually get the microphone as close as they can to the source, so they're not dealing with a whole bunch of reverb and echo and crazy ambient noise and all that stuff. It's super, super important. Now with a lav mic, something like a lav mic, you don't have to worry about that because it's right here, and you just make sure it's right here and you're fine. Even some people put it up here and have it facing away from them and it still works fine. So lav mics are great. Wow, there's a lot of noise today. Is that Lincoln? Lincoln Riddle. What's going on, dude? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, yeah, get the microphone close to the sound source, you know, as close as you possibly can without it getting in frame, you know, preferably. So, unless you like that look, if you like the look of a camera being in frame when you're talking, then go for it. I don't personally. I don't like it. So, that's that. Let's see what else. Oh my God, we are missing chat. Look at that. I didn't get the micro because it sucks on the Canon. I have a Canon, but now I'm Team Sony. I have a Canon. I shoot Canon. I got the micro. It works fine. It works fine. Man, I'm always struggling with my audio. Maybe being a musician doesn't help. I usually use a Rode on top of my Canon or the other Rode, the little one, but I'm never satisfied. Yeah, there's the I mean, again, like that second tip that I just told you, getting the microphone as close as you can to the source will help out a lot with getting better quality audio. But I understand you. If you're a musician and you like are really picky about sound, like I am, then that stuff can drive you nuts. I totally get that. I totally get that. So. Team Sony. Let's not start that. This is an audio. This is an audio show. This is not Sony versus Canon. Canon. Garrett asked, what camera do you use? I use the Canon Rebel SL2. Actually, you are not in the US, so for you it would be the Canon 200D. So Topic Ruben, yes, you were right. You are right. The frustration is real. Yep. Let's see here. Michael, I am Team Sony too. My handy camcorder is Sony. That's right. We got a camcorder. We got a camcorder person here. Sony is always good quality. Sony does have great quality. So does Apple. Apple. See, Canon is the Apple of cameras, so I just called Canon Apple. Jesus Christ. Oh. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, chat just jumped. 200D versus 80D. Which one is better? I would say the 80D probably it has a better image quality for sure. I think it also has electronic image stabilization. The 80D is basically the big brother to the 200D. Like they're very, very similar in a lot of aspects. The 80D is just like a touch better on video quality. I'd probably have to do a lot less work in post if I was working with an 80D. So, Better vids, man. In my opinion, yeah, ADD is better. I'm just in love with the EOS R. I really want the EOS R. 200, yeah, 200D is also a lot cheaper than the 80D. So there's that. Gemma's Journey Grace, hello, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen you guys for a while. By the way, guys, I apologize for the situation. I don't have walls or a door, so it is what it is. Michael, would if I could, bro. Would if I could. So, tip number 3. Let's go with tip number 3. Let's see if we can muscle through tip number 3. Tip number 3. I'm going to post my question again. What's better, a lav mic or the mic you're using right now? I would say lav mic or the mic I'm using right now. I don't know. It kind of depends. I think you'll probably get less room echo with a lav mic, but at the same time, I don't know. I find lav mics kind of intrusive, personally. You know, I find lavs intrusive. You know, and you also run the risk. And Leela, you and I talked about this. Actually, I flop around a lot. Like a whole lot. I flop around a lot when I talk. I mean, you guys have seen my videos, right? I'm very animated, and like when I used to use a lav mic, I used to smack the lav all the time. And so I would say, like, if you are a flailer like me, okay, he just walked outside. Can we talk about the elephant in the room real quick? For the love of God, what was that? Like, no consideration for other human beings at all. So let's Leela, intrusive how? It's intrusive because it's because I move around a lot. So like it gets in the way and I flop. And if I move too much, it rubs against the shirt and makes a bunch of noise. So like it's good for an interview scenario where you're not moving around and all that stuff. But I like having a mic that's not attached to me. That's why. Yeah. So that's that. God. Again, guys, if you have questions, because I'm talking a lot, so the chat is moving while I'm talking. So if you do have questions, make sure that you post them. You know, I'll catch what I can in the chat, but make sure you post your questions in that form so I don't miss any when we get to the Q&A portion, which should be coming up soon. Because I really only have 2 other tips. The next tip is actually to, let's jump into the chat real quick. I saw something from Colin. Colin, first of all, what's up, dude? And the irony of talking about audio with all the noise in the background. Yeah, my area doesn't have walls or a door. I have very limited space to record. A couple people have seen it. It's very small. It's very open. I just don't have a space. So like, you know, roommate used to get off work a lot later. He would come in maybe like towards the end of the live stream, maybe, but like for other than that, it was fine. So now he gets home at like 1:30 or not 1:30. He gets home at like, you know, 2:15ish, and then it's crazy. Like he walks in with an armful of groceries, slams everything down in the kitchen, which is right freaking there. Yeah, and it's horrible. It's horrible. I hate it so much. So glad you got that off your chest. Yeah. I tend to bump the mic all the time, no matter what mic I use. Yeah, I've done that too. What lens do you have on? I have currently the Canon EFS 10 to 18 millimeter. But I'm not using that for the live stream. For the live stream, I actually use a Logitech C922. I don't use my DSLR to live stream. So I have a whole yard outside. I do have a yard outside. But if you think that's any less noisy, you are kidding yourself, my friend. because we got kids around this place. If you guys saw the space, it looks wide. Yeah, it does look wide. Was wondering for usual, it is not necessarily this one. Yeah. Oh my God. Panetta, it's the only way to greet you, buddy. I have no idea what's going on. Okay. Where are we now? Where are we? So what have we done? We've done tip number 3. Let's muscle through tip number 3, right? Sound treatment, which is really ironic right now. Sound treatment. If you can, treat the room that you're recording in. Whether if it's like a more permanent space, get some sound panels, put them up, or, pillows or whatever, whatever you got to do, like try and mute the sound. I have very limited options here, unfortunately. So, but treat the sound, treat the space, get blankets up, do stuff to mute. It's not going to help with any actual background noise, any extra ambient noise, but like it will help with echo and stuff like that. And you'll get a much cleaner recording. So there's, that's that. Planes. Yeah. I live right under, I live right under a flight path, and I'm 15 minutes from an international airport. There are planes going over my house nonstop all day long. So, oh man, Colin. So other than the mic itself, are there specific settings, sample rates that may improve the final audio? Yes. As far as settings, there are definitely, there's a couple things that you can do. Not sample rates. Yes, there are. That's a little bit, I'd have to have that stuff written down in front of me. Like that's not stuff that I'm good at like remembering off the top of my head. But there are two things, and this is actually the next tip is your settings. Make sure your settings are right. And there's two things you need to pay attention to. One, your recording should be peaking, and Karen, this might help. When you're setting your audio, make sure that at the loudest, you're peaking at -12 dB. If you go higher than that, you're going to risk clipping when you go into, editing and post. So try and make sure that you're clipping, between -12 and -6. And if you do that, you'll one, get a much cleaner recording, and two, when you go to post and you add in compression and normalization, limiters and stuff like that, you won't be clipping and creating the breaking in the audio. So that's tip number 1 for settings. And then the other thing for settings, if at all possible, turn the volume up on your microphone before you turn the volume up on your camera. So right now, what I have going on is I have my microphone going into my Zoom H4n Pro, which I'm using as a USB interface to go into my laptop so I can talk to you. When I'm recording my normal produced videos, it's this same setup, except instead of the Zoom going into my laptop, it's going into my camera. So what I do is I take the Zoom and I put the recording level up to where it's recording at between -12 and -6 dB in the recorder. And then I pass that through into the camera, and that way I can actually turn the camera's internal audio all the way down, and I can still be recording at that, -12 to -6 dB range. And what that does is it actually eliminates a lot of that. Sometimes you get that hiss or that white noise in your audio, even though you were in a perfectly quiet room, everything should have sounded perfect, but you still got that hiss or that white noise. 9 times out of 10, it's because your camera's internal audio is turned up too loud, and so you're getting the noise. Now, the caveat to this is if you're using something like the Rode Video Micro, you're not going to be able to turn the volume all the way down on the camera because the mic doesn't have any audio settings on its own. So like the entire thing is controlled by the camera. So I have to usually turn the audio up to, I don't know, 5, I think, something like that. I don't know, but it still sounds pretty decent, but making sure that you're getting, you're getting your volume and your gain out of either the microphone itself, like the Rode Video Mic Pro and Pro Plus, and a few of the deity microphones, they have that like 20 dB boost that'll, up the volume in the microphone, so you can turn the volume in the camera down. So that'll definitely help. Like all of these things that I'm talking about, all of these things that I'm talking about will help you with your final audio. As far as, bit rates or sample rates, always I make it a point to try and record at the highest sample rate that I possibly can, but that also kind of depends on your memory card. Like you need to have a memory card that's able to write fast enough to get that higher quality sample rate. So, Colin, I hope that, hope that helped. Preamping cameras is never ideal. Exactly. Yep. Clipping is the work of the devil. Quiet can be made louder. Clipping is unrecoverable, destroyed noise. Exactly. Exactly. So turn, turn your preamp on the camera down as far as you can, if you can. So, yeah, that's the other thing. Garrett, thank you. That's the other thing as far as settings is concerned. You have to never, ever, ever, ever in the history of ever, should you ever use the auto volume settings on your camera. Don't use the auto volume settings. Don't use the internal windscreen or whatever it is, because when you go back and you listen to that audio, you'll notice that it like raises and it lowers and all sorts of stuff. And the actual like pitch and tone of your voice will change if you get a gust of wind. It's absolutely, it's terrible. And it doesn't matter what camera it is. There is no camera that actually has decent auto volume control or the auto wind filters or anything like that. Like they're all crap. If you're trying to put out like anything close to professional quality, you have to have your audio in your camera at manual settings so you can adjust everything to the way that you like it. Period. Point. Period. That's it. That's like, if you walk away with one thing, walk away with that. Stop using auto volume. Let's see here. Can't change sound in Handycam that way, and it was my second camera which I placed on the stage next to the band that gave two problems. All right, waiting on I'm sure you already posted the problems. The preamp in cameras is never ideal. True, Michael. True. Bass sounds crazy, and the image moves with every bass drum sound. Yeah, well, I mean, sound is vibration. That's all sound is. It's audible vibrations, basically. So yeah, something like bass is lots of vibration. So you get that bass, it actually will move the camera. So that's a tough thing to deal with. You really, if you're gonna be doing that, you really need a camera with really, really, really good image stabilization. If you're gonna have a camera like actually next to the band, really the ideal thing, I would say, Karen, for that situation, if you're recording a band, instead of getting the camera up close, get it as far away as possible and use like a 300 millimeter lens to get close up, unless like both of them are camcorders. But like ideally, if you're recording a band, you want to have that camera as far away from as possible, from the band itself, because that bass will just destroy the image. It'll make it shake like crazy. So getting far away, using a zoomed in lens, 300 millimeters, something like that, and then record audio separately. Record the audio separately. Get your Zoom recorder and, you know, put that up on a tripod or something and put that closer to the band so you can get the sound and then sync it up in post. Your only other option really there is to and also turn the volume way down to help the bass not like go nuts in the recording. Um, you know, your only other option if you want to get really up close to the band with the physical camera itself is to go handheld. Like that's really it. Handheld with a gimbal would also work. So, oh man. Using a separate mic and recording on your cell might be a solution. There you go. That could work as well. Hence, wait, where did it go? Where did it go? Chat jumped. Oh, the hissing sound. The hissing sound. What did you say it was on? Yeah, the T5i. Yeah, exactly. Some camera preamps have to be turned up more than others, and if it's a bad preamp, you know, if it's not a high quality preamp, you're gonna get a lot of hiss. So, topic Ruben, yeah, the memory card. The memory card. Who's your back outdoors? What's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. You've been in here for probably lots of minutes, and I haven't seen you there. Yeah, the memory card. Like if you're recording, if you're trying to record like super high quality audio at the highest sample rate that you can, and it's the same thing with video. If you want to be recording like 10-bit log in 4K, you need a memory card that can write fast enough to be able to handle that, and with enough storage, because that would be a gigantic file. But you know, yeah, the memory card actually matters. It actually really does matter. Oh man. It's also like one of the lesser thought about elements of filmmaking. It's so important. You talking about audio in general, Rachel? Sound knowledge. I thought you meant sound knowledge. Yeah. So underrated. But I agree. It is overlooked, and that's the thing. I mean, it's not horribly overlooked. Like it depends on the setting. Like on YouTube, I'd say audio is highly overlooked. You know, I know there's people out there who know that their audio could be better, and it actually bothers them that it isn't. But then there's a lot of people who just really don't care about the audio, and they're just like, I'm just going to record this video, stitch it together real quick in some kind of editing software and throw it up on the internet and see what happens. You know, like checking to see if spaghetti's done. But you know, audio is super important. I will click off of a video. You know, I've said this 1,000 times by now, but I'll click off of a video because of bad audio long before I'll click off because of bad video. You know, how low can you go, Death Row? That's awesome. Oh man. Sorry. I didn't want to film the band, but from the stage, the people dancing. Luckily, I realized it after half an hour, and I placed the second handy cam on the ground. There you go. This minute is the only minute that matters, bro. Exactly. Topic Ruben, what should I be looking at when I get a memory card? The write speed. I just happen to have a memory card sitting right here. The write speed. I don't know if you'll be able to actually, you're not going to be able to, nope, because I don't have autofocus on, because Logitech's autofocus sucks. But you want to look at the write speed. So like on a SanDisk memory card, right below where it says SanDisk Ultra up here in the top in the red, right below that it says 300 megabytes a second. That's the write speed. You want to get a write speed as high as possible. Super high write speeds can actually get fairly expensive. This one was pretty cheap because it's only an 8 gig, and I don't even know why I have only an 8 gig memory card ever. Like nothing that I have, like, I don't know. But yeah, Write speed is really your biggest thing when it comes to memory cards. You want to want one that's got large enough storage to hold your files, and you need it to be able to write quickly. So we talked about sound treatment. We talked about getting the microphone close to the sound source. And we talked about using the right microphone for the right situation. And we talked about audio settings. I think that was it. I had notes. I don't know where they are. I think that was it, honestly. So let's jump into the forum real quick. I know I got at least one question there, if not more. Hopefully more. But, oh, we got 3 questions. Yay. That makes me happy. All right. First question is from Leela. Do you edit your audio? And if so, how do you edit your audio? Program, which effects, adjustments? That is a great question, Leela. Very, very good question. I do edit my audio. I probably spend more time on audio than I do on anything else. That may not be true anymore. I've kind of figured out, because I record almost every video I make in here. I pretty much have it down. Like, I know exactly what my settings need to be, but I edit my audio in DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve has Fairlight, which is their audio editor. And I do stuff that you can do in any audio editor. You can do it in Audition, you can do it in Audacity, you can do it anywhere, but I normalize all my audio first, and then I put compression on it. I do a compressor, and then I do EQ, and I actually have 2 layers of EQ in my audio. So I have my initial EQ, which typically brings the mids down a little bit, raises the bass up a little bit, and then raises the highs up a little bit more than that. So I usually drop the mids down like negative 3.5 dB. I bring the bass up 3.5 dB, and then I bring the highs up 5.5 dB, I think is what it is. I do that, and then I put a low pass and a high pass filter on it, and I do that all in EQ. After that, I use a de-esser, and that has a preset for male S, and I just put it on that so I don't get a lot of the S sounds. And then after that, I do another layer of EQ, where I'm actually trying to get rid of some of the reverb in the room, which I actually have. I have a video on my channel. It's technically a DaVinci Resolve tutorial, but as long as you have EQ in your audio editor, you can do this too. But it's how to remove room echo. And the only difference that I have from that video is, instead of bringing, so basically what it is, it's narrowing your bandwidth down as far as it'll go, raising the gain, searching for the really annoying sounds, and then bringing the gain down. And I bring it down to negative 4 dB. And I usually use like 4 or 5 bands to get the really annoying noises out, lower those really annoying frequencies, just to smooth out my voice a little bit, get rid of some of the echo and all that. And so that's what I do. And then once I do that on all the tracks and all the clips and everything's sounding good, I put a final transparent master limiter on my main. It's just a limiter, and there's a transparent master setting. I know Audition, if you use Audition, you can do in effects in the special category. There's master. You can use one of those. Just, figure out which one sounds the best. Some of them are really weird, but there's a couple that actually work really well. You put it on there, probably drop the reverb down if I remember correctly. But yeah, I do a master limiter, and then I, tweak my actual audio levels on each of the tracks, and I'm done. So, yeah. All right, let's see here. 10 speed for SanDisk rules, 10 speed for everything. Yep. Colin, 2 ways to get rid of hiss. Take the gain on the camera as low as possible in camera. Other way would be to record 20 seconds of silence if you can, to use with noise removal later in post if you want. That actually works too when you get to the editing side. You can do noise removal. But yeah, you need a good, solid chunk of just silent video in order to do that, because every program that I've used, every program has, when you do noise removal, it has the one where you actually, set a sample. So you kind of teach the program what sound you're trying to get rid of. And then it'll do that. But then they also always have an automatic thing, and those always suck. So make sure you get those samples so you can use noise reduction correctly, and don't overuse noise reduction, because then you get the weird warbly sounds, which is just horrible. CDTV, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the stream. Sorry guys, but I gotta go. Peace and love to all. Thanks, Jay Lippman, for having me here and for all your tips and help. Keep rocking, Demi Dad. Thanks, Topic Ruben. Thank you, sir. Have a great one, man. Thanks for stopping by. Better Vids, Jay Lippman, what does normalize do in editing software? Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Recycle Dude, what's going on? Normalizing audio basically means, so what it does is it raises or lowers your loudest peak in your waveform to a predetermined level. So for instance, I usually normalize my audio to -2 dB before I start editing. It's the first thing that I do. And what that does is it'll raise or lower each clip so that the highest peak in my waveform is at -2 dB. Now in DaVinci Resolve, you have two different options. I can't remember in Audition if you do or not, but you have two different options. Like, let's say I highlighted a whole bunch of clips and hit normalize. It will give me the option to either normalize them so that it's acting as one clip, so it'll raise or lower all of the clips so that the highest peak among all of the clips is at -2 dB, or I can choose to normalize each one individually, which I typically don't like, especially in this kind of scenario here, because it just creates a lot of weirdness. So oh my God, lots to learn. I just use an external small Boya mic or the Zoom hand recorder for better sound, and that is it. And I mean, really, with that lav mic will work, especially if that lav mic can go into the recorder and you can record it into the Zoom. That will help greatly, actually, because that Zoom is a really good recorder. So all right. So, next question. Next song. Sorry, guys. Next song is from Garrett. Garrett, lapel or shotgun mic, which is better? I think I answered that right. It depends. Like I said, it depends on your recording situation. If you're out in the field, and you move around a lot, and you can't afford a wireless lav setup, definitely go shotgun on top of the camera. Like, I think that's best if you're doing vlog style videos. Shotgun mic on top of the camera. If you're doing something indoors and you're sitting still, like an interview or something like that, go lav mic. Like I said, right mic for the right situation. It all depends on the situation that you have. So, question number 3, Goat Eye Photography. Hi, Jay, I have one of those large condenser mics, but when I record at my desk, it picks up a bit of the noise from my PC fans. Should I lower the recording level, or should I use my lav mic instead? Thanks in advance. So here's the thing about those large diaphragm condenser mics. They pick up a lot of sound. They pick up a lot of sound. So especially like if it's one of those like I mean it depends on the microphone, but you know, if it's one of those like if it's a blue like USB, large diaphragm condenser mic, those things usually have built-in compression, which is going to raise up some of those less audible noises. But yeah, those things are really sensitive. You can try turning your recording volume down and that might help it. But a safer bet would probably be a lav mic. So that's that. Recycle Dude says, what do you think about Audacity? I like Audacity. I haven't used it in a really long time. But back way back in the day when I was, building out an internet marketing company, I had a podcast and I hadn't gotten Adobe. I hadn't gotten the Creative Cloud yet. So I was using Audacity and it was great. I actually, I recorded a while ago a little 4-song acoustic demo. This is like, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years ago. I recorded a little, 4-song acoustic demo thing, and I mixed the whole thing in Audacity. And it turned out, decent, not the best, but it turned out decent. So Audacity's great. Like, honestly, it's great. I prefer Audition. Like, if I'm doing audio only work, I will go with Audition before I go with Audacity. But for video, I use Fairlight and DaVinci Resolve because I kind of like the whole all-in-one thing. And Fairlight's got a lot of great things. It's missing a couple of features that Audition has that I really wish Fairlight would pick up. Like the one thing that Audition has that Fairlight doesn't, that I wish it did, is the loudness, loudness match, where you can drag all your clips and it'll just everything is the same loudness, and then the whole normalization process is a lot easier. So, is there a free audio editing software? As I am an amateur and don't have a lot to spend. Yeah, Audacity. What I was just talking about. Audacity is free, 100% free, open source. Got a ton of features, and it supports plugins, so you can actually, add on to things if you want. So, Absent Rule, what's going on? Late again. What, you have one of those job things, so it's kind of understandable. It's definitely understandable. Man, 258 already? That's insane. I will tell you what, though. My image looks a lot better this week. I'm not all fuzzy like I was last time. I figured out what the problem was. I forgot to bring my sharpness up last week, and that's why I was all fuzzy. This week I actually remembered. So, last call for questions, guys. Anything about audio recording or any part of the filmmaking process, really. You don't have to use the form. 259. Yeah, okay, it's 259. That's fine. Last call for questions, my friends. There's a lag. There's a lag, Joe. Come on, man. Respect the lag. Last call for questions. If not, I'm going to go into my normal little spiel, which is to say, actually, I got a lot of things to thank you guys for. This week, some stuff has happened this week that just blew my mind. Some of the guys, Absolute Rule, Tech Exam, and Michael Fryer Jr., they know this, that like one of the milestones I was waiting to hit wasn't necessarily a subscriber number, but I wanted to hit 1,000 subscribers in 28 days. And I actually hit that this week. On that same day that I hit that, I also hit 100 subscribers in 24 hours, which blew my freaking mind. So, like, again, thank you guys so much. Like, that's you guys being interested in my content enough to stick around and watch more. Like, that is all you. I just sit in front of a camera and try and look pretty and like spit some knowledge. Like that's what I do. Like this whole thing, like this, I literally would not be here if it wasn't for you. So thank you guys so much. And thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for hanging out with me on these live streams. I really appreciate it. I want to keep these going as long as I possibly can. And if you want to help me with that, you are more than welcome to. There is obviously super chats during these live streams, but there's also there's a link for PayPal if you want to donate that way. I'm not even going to bother talking about Patreon. It's there. I haven't been doing anything with it. I've like even removed the link from my channel because like it's just not there. So, you know, that is what it is. But I've got merch. And I'm working on new merch. So that should be cool. And yeah, and all that stuff. Killer knowledge, Jay. Filmmaking geeking is defo a good convo. Yep. Absolutely. Next week, last time I came to visit your live stream from Wednesday, 21st of August, our fanfare band starts again and I will miss it. Oh no. 21st of August. Is that the next one? No, that's like 2 weeks from now, right? Come prepared for that one, guys. Come prepared for that one, because that stream, it is, 21st. Nice. 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now. Come prepared, because that's 4 days before my birthday. It will be my birthday live stream. I don't know what we're doing yet. Probably the same thing we're doing right now, but come prepared anyway. Come prepared anyway. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Keep an eye out for my video that is coming this Friday, inspired by Leela, requested by Garrett, how to clone yourself in DaVinci Resolve. It's a fun one. It's a lot of fun. And if you're in Premiere Pro and you want to know how to clone somebody, go check out Leela, because, yeah, it's a great video. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you. I'm just grateful. All right, I'm rambling. Do Demi-Dad shirts for the rest of us. I can't. I didn't make it. I didn't make this shirt. This shirt was made for me. So I don't know where to go. So guys, thank you so much. I'm out of here. I'm going to go do dishes and get wet. So I'm going to go do that. Have a good one, guys. Talk to you later.